Welcome to HTM on the Line, the podcast that is for HTM by HTM. I'm your host, Bryant Hawkins Sr. This week's episode is a special one. We're bringing you to the electric energy and insight straight from the heart of the action at the CEAI 2023 Annual Conference, a gathering of some of the brightest minds and innovators in the HTM industry. I have 6 special guests I will be interviewing for this special episode. Together, they represent the very essence of what makes the CEAI Annual Conference a must-attend event for anyone passionate about the HTM industry. Their stories, insights, and experiences promise to inspire and educate us all. So whether you're a seasoned HTM professional or some just curious about the vital role technology plays in healthcare, you're in the right place. We're about to embark on a journey through the past, present, and future of HTM. Get ready for an episode filled with knowledge, inspiration, and a vision of a brighter, more technological advanced healthcare landscape. Let's kickstart this episode and turn the spotlight on our esteemed guest as we explore the innovations, dedication, and vision that make HTM a vital force in healthcare today. Hello, Fatima. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Okay, before we get started, give us a little background about yourself.
So my name is Fatima. I work for Crothall at Lurie's Children's Hospital as a project manager. I have a background in nursing, and I got my master's in informatics and pivoted my career. However, I'm a project manager at the healthcare tech team at Lurie's. So we integrate the tech and software side of the new technology that we bring into the hospital.
Okay, great. So you on RN background and you on the healthcare technology management side. How does that work with you? How you feel about doing that type of work?
Well, as a new nurse, I always told myself that I was probably going to be an engineer in another life. I had a passion for technology and helping with early adoption and new tech. So I found a way to outlet that and found clinical engineering and technology management.
Now you can be that advantage we need when dealing with tech. With the nurses, they can call you to go in and do the translation with them.
Yeah, that's the biggest goal that I have, is to be a way of communicating between nurses and the tech team, or even nurses and the administrative side of the team.
Awesome. So let me ask you this question. You've been in the industry like over a month, you said. So this is your first trade show you've attended, correct?
Yeah, this is my first trade show on the clinical engineering side.
And how is it?
It's great. It's a very male-dominated profession, so I'm happy to input my female perspective.
So what have you taken from this show that you could take back and utilize?
A lot of the things that I took from this show is just like a lot of the management side of things that I was not aware of. Being a clinical user, there's a lot of PMs and different verbiage that I'm trying to familiarize myself with, and it's been a great learning process.
I'm glad to see you enjoying yourself. It's a very challenging, but it's a very enjoyable industry, as you will get to see as you go on your journey. Did you meet any new people here? Has it been great? Have you made any new friends?
Yeah, I met a lot of people that I probably would not have met if I didn't come to this conference. So it's very nice to see how other people got into this side of the field as well.
Yeah, you get to experience the expo in a minute. That's going to be pretty cool also.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all these new gadgets that we all have.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with me for a few. Anything you would like to say to the HTM community?
Just, live out your dreams. They're crazy, but you'll get there somehow.
All right, great. Thanks, here. Talk to you later, Fatima.
Thank you.
Hello, Leslie.
Hi.
Welcome to HTM on the line. I'm glad you took a minute to come sit here and talk with me. We have Leslie McGovern from Sodexo.
Yes.
Leslie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name's Leslie McGovern. As you said, I've been in the career field for about a little over 20 years, actually. I can't believe that. But I started out in the military. I was a biomed in the military for about 10 years, actually, active duty. And then I got out and just naturally worked my way up into leadership. Currently, I'm a system director over 6 hospitals. I have about 60 employees with Sodexo. And yeah, that's basically how I got into the career field.
Wow, that's awesome. There's a lot of oversight there. Let me ask you this question. I try to ask all the biomeds. How did you get into the industry? Was it the military? Or what made you get into biomed?
Well, so for the first 6 years when I joined the military, I ended up doing radar maintenance and highly electronics. And then I was bored with that because there's just one machine, one modality, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they were offering a different career field if you qualified with your ASFAB. So I just switched into biomed, thank God, because I was really good with electronics and I didn't realize that. And then when I joined the military, I really thought I was getting into air traffic control, but ended up doing the service side of things with the radar for air traffic control. So got into biomed, and that was the best move I could have ever made, just because it opens up so many more opportunities of where you can work in multiple hospitals in multiple towns. Whereas the radar, there's only one radar per town, and you end up taking a job with FAA. So I'm really, really glad that I made the move. And I love what I do. I love being able to be behind the scenes to ensure patient care delivery is being executed, and that there's no delays due to medical devices, and it's really no day is ever the same with biomed. And I really appreciate that portion about our job as well.
Absolutely. That's my mindset too. Every day you go to work, something new.
Yep.
Now, you say you over 60 or so people, and the whole purpose of this podcast, HTM on the Line, is to motivate young people. What is one type of motivation or tip you can give to a young BMed that's new, that's about to get into the industry, or that's in it brand new? What encouragement could you give him?
Yeah.
Or her?
Well, there's so many needs for new talent in the career field right now. So if anybody wants to get in this career field, I mean, just the young lady you were talking to previously, the nurse that transitioned into this career field, if you have a passion around healthcare and then you're technical, this is a place where you need to be. We need you. We want you here. And just raise your hand and really ask for, if you're interested in a different portion of the career field, a new BMET one in the field, if you want to get into anesthesia or imaging, you've got to be your own advocate and create your own path. Your supervisor isn't always going to be creating that path for you. So definitely just raising your hand and taking an interest in things. And also, if you're a BMET 1, don't wait for the BMET 3s to grab you, to take you on a service call. If you see that they're doing something that you haven't worked on before, ask them if you can tag along with them and learn, because really this career field is very self-paced and self-motivated. You're handed your stack of work orders, and it's up to you to get them done. And which way you want to get that done, that's really up to you, how to best effectively get that done. So in the meantime, just keep learning. And also, I would say there isn't, everybody doesn't have to ride up to the leadership path. There's highly technical skilled areas in the career field, especially regarding cybersecurity, device integration. So those types of things, I think the young talent that we have coming in is really well suited for those types of positions, because they do know devices so well. They're, all of our kids are like the older biomeds, including myself. I'll put myself in that category. We had to learn all about IT stuff, and they're coming in with that as a package. So already with that information. So yeah, the career field is your oyster. If you're new into this career field, I'm excited to see what they can do for us, and bring those ideas to the table. And don't be shy to speak up and raise your hand for that next opportunity.
Great advice. Now, I know we was talking before you came on about the input you had in the CEAI.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What would you?
Yeah, so the CEAI, these state organizations are so awesome. Especially with healthcare funds being, not a lot of hospitals are able to afford to send us to the big national conferences like AMI and MD Expo. So these state organizations are a great filler for opportunities to network with your peers and really talk to your vendors that you're dealing with on a regular basis. So, and plus all the educational sessions. I mean, if you've got a state organization, definitely check them out. But yeah, I just saw that there was a need, and it was the first time they'd had a female president as well. And so I volunteered for the position, and it was really a great time to network with everyone in Chicagoland. Knows me now, whether that's a good or bad thing. But yeah, I really had a good time with the position, and all of those types of organizations are really good for young biomeds to get involved in, because you get to network with so many people. You get to meet a bunch of vendors and people like yourself, so it's a really great thing to get involved with your state organizations too. They're all volunteer positions. So, our elections are coming up next year. So any young people listening from Chicagoland, get out there and volunteer if that's interest you.
Thank you so much for all of your input in such a short time. You have to come give me a whole segment. We got to work on those, get that fixed up where you can be a guest on my podcast.
Sure, anytime. Thanks for coming to CEAI.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you. Jonathan, welcome to HTM on the Line, sir. So excited to have you on here today.
What's up, Brian? It's a pleasure to be here, sir. Thanks for inviting me.
Before we get started, give us a little background on yourself, sir.
Let's see. I'm Jonathan Romero. I'm a clinical engineer supervisor at Evanston North Shore Hospital in Illinois under Sodexo.
Okay. Now, how long you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry 14 years. At the site I'm at right now, 12 years.
Awesome. How do you feel about this industry here?
I love it. It's always a growing industry. It's always changing. We're in the tip of, not the tip, but we're always like in the front line of high-end technology.
Yeah, exactly. So, no doubt you've been in it 12 years. You've seen it evolve. What would you say is one of the most challenging things you've come across since you've been in the industry?
Keeping up with the new stuff, and learning it, and then getting rid of the old stuff that we just mastered to learn. That, and then, to be honest, cybersecurity. Keeping up with cyber stuff and networking, that's a fun challenge, but it's a good challenge.
Absolutely. So, yes, sir. So, let me ask you this question here. The CEAI. Is this your first show?
No, I've been here a couple times.
Okay. What have you gained from coming to these shows? What would you say one of the benefits of you coming to the show each year?
Definitely networking, seeing different companies, how we all get along, even though we're rivals, or it's like Burger King versus McDonald's, but in here we're all family. So to me, seeing all the companies that we're competing for, and we get along, we share stories, shake hands, like you with Trimatics, this person's with Sodexo, this person's with in-house. I think it's pretty sweet that we could all get together and be brothers and sisters.
Absolutely. I appreciate the same thing, brother. If you had to give some advice, because the whole purpose of this podcast is to motivate the young.
Right.
What advice would you give to a young person that's maybe finishing up school or he just got into the industry? What encouragement would you recommend to him or suggest to him?
I would say definitely stay in school, study hard. Find someone you know that's in this field, pick their brain a little bit, see if you can shadow them. Okay. Like check it out, shadow them one day at work, see what kind of stuff they do. And then you'll see the challenge. You'll see all the fun stuff they get to be involved in. People think you're a doctor. You say, I'm a clinical engineer. And it sounds like you do something fancy, but it's good to shadow somebody and just to taste it out and see how it is. That's what I would highly recommend to do.
Right. BMed 1, I've been on the job 2 months now. It's not really what I'm thinking it is. What would you tell him if he was in your shop?
I tell him or her to stick through it. If they were at my side, I'm like, here, follow me a little bit. Let me show you a little something different. So just so they're not seeing BMed level 1 stuff, let them see level 2 stuff. I'll bring them up to surgery and let them see some stuff that's going on in surgery. Yes. And then let them know, like, hey, in a couple of years, this could be you up here. Or in a couple of years, you could be writing my check. But I would show them a different angle of stuff that we do. Not just like doing infusion pumps and thermometers and the normal routine stuff. I would show them like some surgical robots and some anesthesia machines we work on, and to show the dire need of us in surgery or us in like doing radiology equipment, or just an area where they absolutely need us.
Great, man. Jonathan, man, I can hear the passion in your voice. talking to you. It's very contagious, man, because I love this industry. It seems like you love it as much as I do. It's great, man. Great talking to people like you. Great to meet you. Feel like I got my long-lost friend. But, man, it's great, and I wish you the best. And anytime you want to come on my podcast, you are more than welcome, sir.
Man, you got it, Brian. It's been a pleasure, sir.
All right, sir. Hello, everyone. I have my good friend Guillermo on the show. I say good friend. We just met about an hour ago, but close enough. Guillermo, tell us about yourself. Give us some background information on you.
Well, I have been in the biomed field for about 35 years. I went from biomed 1, 2, 3, and then the obvious change was to go for radiology, imaging. So I did imaging. I don't know, I've been doing imaging for like 20 years now. I'm going to be 65 years old in November, so I'm planning on retire in May next year. After my hospital is moving to a new building. So I'm going to help out with the building move, and then I'll retire and I will travel.
All right. Let me ask you this now.
Yeah.
What part of the country are you working in?
What part of the country?
You're working in right now?
Oh, I'm in Indiana.
Okay.
I have worked previously in Illinois in a couple of hospitals, but right now I'm at Franciscan Health in Crown Point, Indiana.
All right, awesome. Now, you mentioned you've been in this industry for 35 years. Man, that's awesome.
Yes.
What would you say was one of the most challenging obstacles for you?
Probably making the move from biomed to radiology. At one point, I had to go on my own and pay for my own training to do the radiology to be able to get a position in radiology. Most people, the hospital will pay. Me, I had to pay for my own and make my way into radiology on my own. That was probably the hardest thing to do.
Wow. Yeah, I can understand imaging. It's like a different world. And that's awesome how you invested in yourself. I encourage that a lot all the time. I'm like, if you want to learn something, you have to take it into your own hands. Don't wait on someone. If you're passionate enough about it, it can happen.
And I was. So I made the move. And yeah, there was an expense, but at the end, there was a reward. I had a chance. I took a chance, and it just paid off.
Like I tell everyone, this podcast is mostly triggered toward the young people in the industry. What advice would you encourage a young biomed? What advice could you give him?
Volunteer for everything, do everything, learn everything, and learn from other people. Other people have tons of things that you can learn from if you let them. I always say that let me milk your brain. Show me something, teach me something. As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, there is a young gentleman here that recognized me from working at a hospital in Chicago. And he said, "Oh, Guillermo, you used to work in radiology." I was a rent-a-tech. And now I am I'm the only radiology guy at the hospital that I'm working in Chicago. And it was like awesome. He sometimes talked to me while I was working, and somehow he went from being a radiology tech to a radiology technician. And that was pretty impressive, actually. He is here in this symposium, and that was great to see the move he made. He made the change. He took the chance, and now he's in the field. And it was amazing to see him.
Yes, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, that's great, and that's exactly what we should be doing as an industry. Well, Guillermo, I appreciate you coming on here, man.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you at future shows.
Thank you for having me.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Andrell. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Great. Welcome to HTM on the Line. I'm so appreciative that you took some time to come hang out with me. Before we get started, please tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Andrell, like you said. I've been in the HTM world for about 2 years now. March should be 3. I got my degree in computer science, and I was just trying to see what was some options that I can go into before I try to go into the direct world of IT. And I was introduced by another female, and I asked her what did she do, and she told me, and I was like, I'm kind of interested in that because I'm pretty I'm good with my hands, so I was curious, and I shadowed for a while, and then I finished my degree, and then I applied, and I've been over here ever since.
So I was just about to ask you, how did you get into the industry?
I'm sorry.
'Cause everybody has a story on how they came about medtech.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a
Hidden secret.
it's a hidden secret. I actually about to say like in the basement.
Yes.
With most of
Y'all in the basement?
Yeah, we're in the basement. most of us are.
No windows next to the morgue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would you say was your biggest challenge since you've been in the industry?
I believe my biggest challenge have been being a woman. It's a male dominant field. So I have to do a lot more than my counterparts to be taken serious or be valued from my perspective, that I believe.
So how's that going?
I guess anywhere else you almost have to prove yourself. And then over time, I believe with building relationships and with team members, it comes with it's a level of trust that has to be built.
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep doing what you're doing, I tell everybody hard work works.
Yes.
Just keep working at it. I mean, you'll get there.
That's true.
You're doing great. I mean, you're an inspiration to our people, and
yes,
I don't see you stopping.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What would you say to some biomed students that may be listening and they're about to graduate maybe in the next semester? What advice would you give them if they get on the job? Like, what would you tell them to do if they get their first job in the biomed industry?
Try to learn everything, but take your time. Take your time. It's definitely no right way to it. Just try to learn and get it trained and be patient, because that's the biggest thing, because it's a field that, like you said, a lot of people don't know. So it's a lot of changes happening within, I'm sure, every organization. And learn the field. You will be surprised. Companies that you see have a biomed. Almost every company, if it's have any healthcare related, it has a biomed, and you will be surprised. And be patient. And yes, and that's the patience. Patience. It may not come right away. You may not get it right away, but I promise you, it will. It will. And you want to learn the field, and it's a small field. It's a small field. You will be surprised that the people you met a year ago is in another company doing something different, and it's a small world. So don't burn bridges neither.
Oh, that's great advice. That's great advice. Now,
don't burn any bridges.
This conference, CEAI, is this your first time here, or you?
No. This will be my third time. This is my third year here.
So what would you say is one of the benefits of these conferences and to you?
Information. Every year, I believe the other years, I went to the seminars that was touched on leadership. I like that this year, they touched on a lot of technology. So my goal for myself within this field is to merge within IT a little more. So I would like to get a more IT background, and I like that they introduced that, because as biomeds, we are getting more into IT. It is becoming more IT related, and our organization here in Illinois, which is Advocate, we're actually under IT branch. So we're all under the same branch now.
That's good. I met one person that told me they was under the IT umbrella. That's good. That way y'all have no choice but to work good together.
Exactly. And because a lot of our equipment is intertwined. So it's the best way to go, especially to build relationships, because you're going to need to have a relationship with IT where you could just pick up the phone and call without having to go through the large channels of what part of IT that you need this for. So
Well, let me tell you, I appreciate you coming on. You have to come do a whole episode with me.
sure,
And
no
it'll be
problem.
a great situation there where you can talk to the young people more and hear more about your story.
Yeah, that's true. And I think definitely for women too as well, to not be intimidated by it being a male dominated. Yes, it has this, with any other situation that if it's a male dominant, it has its challenges, but
But the
like
females
I
are coming
said,
now.
yes,
They have a lot of them in the industry now.
They are.
Well, I appreciate you, Miss Untrell Johnson.
It's Andre.
Untrell Johnson.
Yeah.
And you're from Illinois area, right?
Yeah.
Chicago? All right, that's good. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Wish you the best.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome to HTM on the Line, Natsumi.
Thank
How
you.
you doing?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
Great. Glad to finally get you on here.
Happy to be here.
So before we get deep into it, tell us about your background.
Sure. So I have my bachelor's in biological sciences from University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I got my master's at Marquette with my degree in healthcare technologies management. And then I started my career at Crothall as an HTM fellow at Lurie Children's Hospital under Kelly Harris.
All right, Kelly. Kelly, she's a great person.
She is. Very lucky to have her as my mentor.
So how long have you been working in the HTM industry?
So I've been in the field for 7 years now. I started as a fellow and then just gradually grew into my current role.
And what is that current role?
I'm now the Director of Medical Device Integrations, Projects, and Equipment Services at Lurie Children's Hospital.
That medical device integration, that has been picking up every week, look like. So how has that challenge been going for you?
It's been great. So we started our team about 5 years ago when there was a little gap between the technicians, the clinicians, and then also IT. And so when I was a fellow, I was able to kind of establish my team into having just one analyst. But as the years pass, there's just been such a need with evolution in technology and medical devices as a whole. And so now I have a team of about 4 people.
That's awesome. It's great, man. So coming into this HTM industry wasn't a mistake for you.
No, I didn't even know about the field until I started my master's program, actually.
I think everybody either came into it from family or happened upon it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works. And I wish that's the reason for this podcast, honestly, is to make people aware of it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different avenues you can go in it. Like, for instance, you're not even really dealing with the day-to-day repairs of equipment, right?
Right.
But you're also a strong part of what's going on in this industry and what's needed. And so if you had to, in a few words, because I like to always channel it toward the young people. Okay. That's what I've been asking everyone.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a young technician that's probably just starting or about to get into the industry?
I would definitely encourage someone to find a mentor, someone that's able to guide them throughout just even the day-to-day operations, but also growth opportunities and how someone can challenge themselves on a day-to-day basis, just understanding the whole industry. I think it's really helpful, and to have someone that you feel comfortable talking to, reaching out to get any sort of help. It's been great, I think.
Now, is this your first CEAI conference or?
No, I've been coming to CEAI for, I don't know, in the past 5 years, I would say.
Okay, great. So in your words, what would you see one of the benefits of one of these conferences?
In the beginning, in my early years, I loved doing the classes just to kind of see what else is out there, what people are kind of learning or what's going on in the field. Now I like to come for the networking, just to kind of touch base with different companies, different vendors, and just to see faces.
Yes, that's one of the best advantages of it. And I get to hang out with you. I mean,
Of
we
course.
know each other, but we never really talked face to face
Yeah.
much. So this is one of the perks.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the networking is a great thing that's needed in our industry.
Yeah.
And personally, Everyone should do it, even though you missed my presentation this morning, but I won't hold it against you.
I'm sorry. But I think over the years too, it's nice that we've been able to see a lot more women in this at the conference. And so that's exciting.
Yes, I see it. You can see it turning. It's more female presence than it was probably when you first came into the industry.
Absolutely.
And
lots of males in this industry.
Yes, a lot of them. But the females are coming in strong. I mean, they're very assertive. They are outgoing, and it's needed though. It gives a variety of different opportunities for people out there, and that's one of the challenges that I think this industry has: exposure. So, how would you put into words females? Because you're a female in the industry.
I am a female in the industry.
What would you say? What would one of the challenges be, or would you say was one of your challenges as a female HTM professional? Did you have any that you ran into when you first came in?
I think in the industry as a whole, I did, just because it's very male dominated. But I was very lucky that at Lurie, my director was a female, and then Lurie Children's is a children's hospital, and typically children's hospitals, I think, have more female leadership too. And so I think that was really helpful in kind of seeing that there's a lot of potential for female growth in any type of industry. But I think it's just kind of acclimating, building relationships throughout the industry as a whole has been really helpful.
And I also work at a children's hospital, and I just think the people at children's hospitals are nicer.
Oh, yes.
It's like everybody's in a good mood. And I don't know if it's because it's children that they're dealing with, but
and I think it's because it's children that we see every day that have so much energy, regardless of what illness they may have or what's going on with them. They're just so energetic and happy, and that I think that gives us energy.
Yeah, and it's like you see the equipment of things you're working on, and you see this baby benefiting from it. It's everybody. It brings joy.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really a blessing to work in the children's hospital system. I think everybody should at least once.
I agree.
I was in the industry for 29 years.
Yeah.
This is my first time working at a children's hospital. I've worked in NICU, but it's not the same as an entire hospital. I mean,
and hospitals are brighter too and colorful.
Beautiful. Look like Disney World. And matter of fact, they had a Disney cruise came to New Orleans, and Mickey came to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And that was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's one of the perks of having a children's hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody comes there to cheer up the kids. And so it's beautiful. Well, I'm so glad you sat down with me, Nasumi.
Thanks for having me.
We got to do one full episode one.
Absolutely.
We went to it, and we can really dive in deep and see what's going on.
To my career.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You take care.